This is part 9 of the Craftsman 6x48 Belt Disc Sander Rebuild Series. If you haven't seen part 8, click the link at the top of the screen. In this video, we will be fabricating the belt table support rod and then doing some cleaning and polishing. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. So this is the original belt table support rod, and you can see that the belt ate into it. So what we're going to do is fabricate a new one. So I'm just going to do some facing here. This is mild steel that we're going to be fabricating this out of. And then I'm going to do a little chamfer. Then we'll do a center drill. Now we're going to eyeball this thing. We're not doing anything crazy with it. So we'll just do some turning, clean that up a little, get some of those turning lines out of there. Make sure we've got enough. And then we're going to mark where we're going to thread it. So after the catastrophic parting in my previous build, I'm not doing parting on my metal lathe anymore. I'll just take it over here to the bandsaw and part it here. Now the parting on a lathe serves several functions. You get to face the object while you're parting it, but I also needed to cut this slot into the rod. So I went ahead and, we're just going to do all this on the bandsaw. And go a little deeper. You can see I'm really putting some force on that blade. And we're good. So here we are back over at the lathe, and we're going to face. Again, this is where we cut it off with the bandsaw. And there we go. Now we can chamfer. And we're good. Okay, so we'll take this over to my Wilton vise, put it in the vise. And we are going to thread this. So we'll just put a little 3-in-1 oil on there. And we are threading this for, I think it was a 1/2 by 13. I can't remember now. I've got a little mark on there on how far down I want to go. And this gear wrench tap and die set is awesome. I love this thing. Way better than my crappy Harbor Freight stuff. So I'm just going to make sure we got enough thread there. Now, what I should have done is I should have put a shelf on at the top of those threads to allow this to sit level when it's completely screwed down, but no big deal. So we're just cleaning up that slot that we cut into the top part of it. And just using some little pin files. Cleaning it up a little bit. So here we are back over at the lathe, and you can see that my threading was not dead center, and that's why we've got that wobble going on. But what we're going to do is we're just going to do some polishing. So we're going to sand this, and we started with I think 80 grit, and we're going to go 80 all the way up to 320 on dry sanding, and then wet sand 400, 600, 800, and 1000, rinsing between each grit, and then do a final rinse and dry, and then we're going to apply the mother's mag and aluminum polish. This is the same stuff that I used on the column in the previous video and on just about everything. And then I use a ShamWow to buff it off. And there we go. So I'm going to lean heavily into, well, heavier than I normally do, into fabrication on this rebuild series. There's several other things that we're going to be fabricating throughout the rebuild. Good enough for government work. Alright, so here we got the two lock knobs, and you can see they've kind of got this white film on them where they've oxidized, the chrome is oxidized. So what we're going to do is apply that mother's mag and aluminum polish to them. And that should shine them up. We've got all those little grooves there between that we cleaned out with the Q-tips. But hey, chrome restored. So as long as you've got something that's not heavily pitted, this stuff works wonders on getting it to shine. Alright, so we've got the two pulleys. This is the drive pulley, and I've just got it temporarily mounted on the drive shaft. And we're just going to dry sand this, hitting it with some 100, 220, well, there was a 120 and then a 220 in there. And then this is the idler pulley, and we're not going to mount it on a shaft, we're just going to chuck it and do the same thing. All we're doing is cleaning these up. They've got a texture to them, and we want to keep that texture for the most part because it allows the back side of the sandpaper to kind of grip onto them a little better. The belts. Alright, so here is the rotor for the motor. And we're just going to clean up the shaft on each end of this. And for that, we're going to be just wet sanding. And we're going to start at 600 grit. We're just going to do 6, 8, and 1000. Because we do not want to take this down a whole lot. It has two bearings, one on each end, and we don't want to change the outside diameter of this thing really so that it would interfere with allowing those bearings to slip. So in anything that we've got that's got a tight tolerance like that, where a bearing needs to ride on it or sit in it, we're just going to do very minor wet sanding. And all we're doing really is just cleaning it up. We're not trying to take any metal off of this. Yes, the sanding does remove some metal, but we're talking a very, very small amount. So this is the idler pulley shaft. Same thing. We just use the 600, 800, and 1000. And this is the drive shaft. And we're going to do the exact same thing. 600, 800, and 1000. And just remember to rinse between each grit, otherwise you're fighting against the sandpaper. So pretty simple. And so for most of this stuff, if you don't have a metal lathe, you could have just taken a regular drill and put it in a vise and then chucked most of these items, anything that was a 1/2 inch or smaller in diameter, into your drill chuck and done the exact same thing. So this is the table support rod for the work table. And yes, it does have a little area there that got eaten into, but for the most part it's serviceable, so we're going to just clean it up. And we did dry sand it, and we are going to wet sand it as well. And I thought about fabricating a replacement for this, but this one works. So, and it doesn't require a real tight tolerance, so you know, it's a support rod. It's not massively important as far as how it looks or whether or not it's been cut into a little bit there. Fabricating it wouldn't have been an issue, but we would have had to mill a flat the whole length of it. You can see that flat right there. Alright, so to coat this stuff, we're just gonna, since it's all raw metal right now, we're just gonna coat it with this super slick stuff. Some of these other items we cleaned up in the previous video over on the bench grinder. And after we've coated everything, then we're just going to wipe it down. That super slick stuff does a real good job of protecting it. And it lubricates as well. So here we are with the two pulleys again, and you can see the inside of them is got this crud in there. It looks like rust, but it's not rust because there's Zamic, and Zamic doesn't rust. So I don't know what that stuff is, but I'm using a variety of wire wheels to get the inside of that as clean as I can get it. Then we'll use some bottle brushes to clean out the bore, and steel brush to do the final work and then blow them out. Same with those little pulleys. Clean out any of the threaded holes for the set screws. and just clean the bores on those two pulleys. Then we're going to coat the inside of these two pulleys here with the super slick stuff as well. And that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be working on the Powr-Panl and making a mount for it. So more fabrication, which is something that I really enjoy working on. But yeah, so this thing is rocking along and I am enjoying working on it. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you guys next time.